Step away from the cabin. I looked at Vanessa Caldwell. You mean my cabin? The cabin on HOA property. Vanessa smiled and raised her phone. Then you won't mind explaining that to the police. Behind me, a man sat at my kitchen table, drinking coffee. Jeans, work boots, gray flannel shirt. Vanessa barely looked at him. She called dispatch. Yes, I need a deputy at the Silver Ridge North Preserve. We have a trespasser refusing to leave an HOA-owned cabin. I stared at her. An HOA-owned cabin? She covered the phone. You should start packing. The man behind me slowly lowered his coffee. Vanessa continued. Yes, he's been formally notified. A pause. No, he refuses to leave. Then she looked straight at me. He's becoming confrontational. That got the man's attention. There's another individual inside the structure, Vanessa said. I need both of them removed. She hung up. They're sending a deputy. Good. You won't think it's good when he gets here. The man at my table almost laughed. Vanessa pointed past me. And your friend needs to leave too. He stood and walked to the doorway. Me? Yes. This is private HOA property. Interesting. Vanessa frowned. Who are you? The name meant nothing to her. Not yet. 11 minutes later, a patrol SUV came up the gravel road. A deputy stepped out. Vanessa immediately walked toward him. Officer, thank you. The trespasser is right. The deputy looked past her. His posture changed. Sheriff? Vanessa smiled. Exactly. I need you to. Then she stopped. The deputy wasn't talking to her. He was looking at the man standing behind me. Thomas Reed, the county sheriff. And Karen had just called his own office to have both of us removed from my cabin. My name is Daniel Mercer. I'd owned that cabin for 18 years. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, stone fireplace, narrow porch, 14 acres of woods with a creek running through the back. Nothing luxurious. That was the point. My uncle owned the property before me. When he retired and moved south, I bought it through a title company. The deed was recorded. The parcel was transferred into my name. Every year after that, the county sent me the property tax bill. I paid it. Silver Ridge didn't exist when I bought the place. The development came years later on a large tract west of my land. First came houses, then roads, then the clubhouse, then the HOA. For years there was no problem. Then Silver Ridge expanded a walking trail through the woods near my property. The HOA began calling the surrounding common land the North Preserve. Their preserve was real. The problem was that my property wasn't part of it. That distinction apparently became optional after Vanessa Caldwell became HOA president. The first sign appeared beside my gravel road one Friday afternoon. Silver Ridge North Preserve, resident access only. I took a picture and called management. That sign is beside my access road, the manager said. It marks the preserve. My road isn't in the preserve. I'll speak to the board. 2 days later, the sign moved closer. Now it partially blocked the entrance to my road. I moved it back to the side. The next weekend, Vanessa was waiting for me. Red jacket, clipboard, a folder under one arm. She watched me move the sign. You can't do that. Then stop putting it on my road. This is HOA property. No, it isn't. She opened the folder and pulled out a color map. Silver Ridge was shaded blue. The woods were green. My road ran into part of that green area. Vanessa tapped the page. This entire section is the North Preserve. According to what? The official community map. That's an HOA map. It was prepared for Silver Ridge. Still not a deed. Her expression hardened. You've been using this road without authorization. I own the road. The HOA maintains the preserve. You maintain your property. I maintain mine. She pointed toward the cabin. That structure is also inside the preserve boundary. I stared at her. My cabin? Yes. I bought it before Silver Ridge existed. That doesn't mean later property agreements didn't affect the land. Did Silver Ridge buy my cabin without telling me? Don't be ridiculous. Then show me the deed. We don't carry title records around for every enforcement conversation. But you're claiming ownership. We're informing you of the boundary. No, you're showing me a colored map. Vanessa folded it. We'll verify it. Please do. I drove to the cabin. I thought embarrassment would eventually kill the issue. Instead, 5 days later, I received a certified letter. Notice of unauthorized use. According to Silver Ridge, I had been accessing restricted HOA property for private recreational purposes. Those private recreational purposes apparently included sleeping in my own bedroom. The notice ordered me to stop using the road and remove my personal belongings from the cabin within 14 days.
I emailed Vanessa. Please provide the recorded deeds, survey, or county parcel record showing Silver Ridge owns my cabin or access road. Her reply came that afternoon.
The HOA is not obligated to provide internal property documentation to unauthorized users. I read that twice. Unauthorized user. On property with my name on the tax bill. That was when I stopped arguing with Vanessa and went to the county records office. I wasn't worried that Silver Ridge secretly owned my cabin. But old rural property can have strange easements. Roads move. Parcels get divided. Legal descriptions matter. So I checked. The clerk pulled up my parcel. 14.2 acres. Owner, Daniel Mercer. The cabin was inside it. So was the gravel road once it entered my property. Then she pulled the recorded Silver Ridge plat. The North Preserve ended west of my parcel. No overlap, I asked. Does Silver Ridge have an easement across my current road? She searched. Not that I see. Then she pointed to another line. There is an older access easement over here. It ran west of my current road. My uncle had used that route decades earlier before the county road was improved. I made a note of it. Then I ordered certified copies of everything. Deed, parcel map, recorded Silver Ridge plat. I put them in a folder. That should have been enough. But Vanessa wasn't done. And neither was my Saturday. Because an old fishing friend had been telling me for months that there wasn't a single decent trout in my creek. His name was Thomas Reed. Most people around the county called him Sheriff Reed. Tom arrived Saturday a little after 8. He wasn't in uniform. No badge hanging from his belt. No marked vehicle. Just an old pickup, jeans, work boots, and a gray flannel shirt. If you didn't know him, you wouldn't guess he ran the county sheriff's office. We'd known each other for about 12 years, mostly through fishing. He said I exaggerated the size of every fish I caught. I said he was jealous. That morning we were supposed to settle the argument at the creek. Instead, we ended up drinking coffee over my property records. Tom looked at Silver Ridge's notice. Allude use? Apparently I've been trespassing for 18 years. In your own cabin, very committed trespassing. He looked at the certified parcel map. And this is what the county has? Yes. Then why is the HOA saying otherwise? They have green ink. He laughed. Dangerous stuff. I want to make something clear. I hadn't invited Tom because he was sheriff. I didn't ask him to make a phone call. I didn't ask him to intervene. He was there to fish. If Vanessa kept pushing the issue, I planned to let an attorney handle it. Then around 9:15, tires crunched outside. I looked through the window. Black SUV. Vanessa. Tom glanced up. Company? Unfortunately, Vanessa stepped out with Silver Ridge board member Carol Whitman and another man I didn't know. She walked straight toward the porch. I went outside. Tom stayed at the kitchen table. Vanessa didn't say hello. You received our notice. Yes. Then why are you here? I looked at the cabin behind me. That's a strange question. You were ordered to stop accessing the North Preserve. I was also waiting for your deed. You don't get to dictate how the board handles enforcement. I got the records myself. I held up the certified county plat. My property. My road. She barely glanced at it. Our legal description is different. Show me. I don't have to litigate property ownership on your porch. My porch? She realized what she'd said, then corrected herself. At this structure. I smiled. That sounded better in your head, didn't it? Carol looked down. Vanessa ignored her. The board has confirmed this cabin falls inside the North Preserve. With what? Our development records. Recorded where? You're trying to create an argument. No. I'm asking for a document. Vanessa stepped closer. You had 14 days. To do what? Remove your personal property from my cabin, from an unauthorized structure on HOA land. Inside, Tom slowly turned his chair toward the door. I said, let me make sure I understand you. Vanessa crossed her arms. Go ahead. You're saying Silver Ridge owns this cabin? Yes. And I'm trespassing? Yes. Carol looked at her. Vanessa. Vanessa held up a hand. The board has already addressed this, I asked. Then what happens if I don't leave? We escalate. To who? Law enforcement. Tom stopped drinking his coffee. I looked toward the doorway, then back at Vanessa. You're going to call police because I'm standing outside my own cabin? You are refusing to leave private HOA property. You should probably read the county plat first. I don't need another document you selected to support your story. It's certified by the county. This conversation is over. She took out her phone. I could have stopped her. I could have said, before you make that call, you might want to ask who's sitting at my table. I didn't, because she wasn't asking questions anymore. She was making accusations. Vanessa called dispatch. My name is Vanessa Caldwell. I'm president of the Silver Ridge HOA. She waited. Yes, North Preserve. Another pause. We have a trespasser refusing to leave HOA property. Tom's eyebrows rose. Vanessa looked directly at me. He has been formally notified. Pause. Yes, he's still here. Then he's becoming confrontational. I almost laughed. Tom didn't. Vanessa continued. There's another man inside the structure. She glanced past me. No, I don't know who he is. Pause. Yes. Both of them need to be removed. When she hung up, she looked satisfied. They're sending a deputy. Good. You should start gathering your belongings. No. You're making this harder than it needs to be. From behind me, Tom spoke. Mrs. Caldwell? She looked toward the doorway. Yes? He was still sitting at the table. Who told you Daniel's cabin belongs to the HOA? Our board verified the boundary. With what? Our property records. Deed? She frowned. What? Recorded deed? Plat? Court order? And you are? Tom. This is an HOA enforcement matter, Tom. Sounds like an ownership matter. You don't have all the information. That's why I asked. Vanessa's voice sharpened. Our attorneys have reviewed the North Preserve boundary. I looked at her. Which attorney? That's privileged, Tom asked. Did that attorney tell you to report Daniel for criminal trespass? Vanessa stared at him. I don't know who you think you are. Tom nodded. Fair enough. But you're also occupying HOA property without permission. Understood. When the deputy arrives, you'll need to leave. Understood. That seemed to satisfy her. Then she looked at me. Last chance. I looked at Tom. He lifted his coffee. I think I'll wait for the deputy. The patrol SV arrived 11 minutes later. Deputy Aaron Mills stepped out. Vanessa reached him before he'd fully closed his door. Officer, thank you. The trespasser is right there. She pointed at me. Aaron looked toward the porch. Then he saw Tom standing in the doorway. His posture changed. Sheriff? Vanessa nodded quickly. Exactly. We need you to remove. She stopped. Aaron wasn't agreeing with her. Morning, Sheriff. Morning, Aaron. Vanessa slowly turned. She looked at Tom, then at Aaron, then back at Tom. You're the sheriff? Thomas Reed. Her face changed, only for a second. Then she recovered. Well, good. Tom raised an eyebrow. Good, then we can resolve this quickly. I hope so. You heard him admit he refuses to leave. Tom looked at Aaron. Aaron, you handle the call. Vanessa frowned. You're the sheriff, and Daniel is my friend. That silenced her. Tom continued. So Deputy Mills will review the complaint and the records. I'll stay out of his way. That was exactly what Vanessa hadn't expected. No intimidation, no favor, no badge used as a shortcut. Aaron turned to me. Daniel, do you have proof of ownership? I handed him the folder. Deed.
Parcel record, recorded plat. Vanessa opened her own folder. I have the Silver Ridge community map.
She handed it over. Aaron compared the two. Her map was polished, colored, labeled. Mine looked boring black. Parcel numbers, recording references. Aaron asked, is the HO a map recorded with the county? Vanessa said. It's an official Silver Ridge document. Is it recorded? I don't know what filing category was used, Carol quietly said. I don't think it was recorded. Vanessa turned. Carol, he asked. Our legal team reviewed this. Aaron looked at her. Do you have a deed showing Silver Ridge owns Mr.
Mercer's parcel?
The preserve was conveyed during development. Do you have that conveyance? Not with me. Tom stayed silent. Aaron radioed dispatch. He asked them to verify my parcel number and check for any recorded transfer, active court order, or other ownership record involving Silver Ridge. Vanessa kept talking. This is exactly the problem. People think saying private property makes them exempt from community restrictions. Aaron looked at her. Is Mr. Mercer a member of your HOA? No. Is his parcel inside the subdivision? It affects the preserve. That wasn't my question. No. Aaron waited for dispatch. The radio crackled. My parcel came back. Owner, Daniel Mercer. No recorded transfer to Silver Ridge. No court order. No ownership claim on file. Aaron handed me back the deed. Based on the county record available to me, Mr. Mercer owns this property. Vanessa shook her head. No. Your records don't reflect the preserve designation. Aaron held up her map. This is an HOA map. It's official.
It may be official to your association.
It doesn't transfer title. She turned toward Tom. You know what the preserve is, Tom answered. I know what a deed is. For the first time that morning, Vanessa had no immediate response. Aaron said, I don't have a basis to remove Mr. Mercer from this cabin. There it was. The moment Vanessa should have stopped. Instead, she smiled. Not a nervous smile. A confident one. Fine. She reached deeper into her folder. Maybe the cabin is his. I looked at her. She pulled out another document. This one didn't have colored shading. It had recording numbers, legal language, county stamps, but he still has no legal right to drive here. Aaron took it. Vanessa looked straight at me. The HOA terminated the access easement. That was the first thing she had produced all morning that looked like a real recorded document. And suddenly, the fact that I owned the cabin wasn't the only question that mattered. Aaron read the document carefully. Tom stayed by the porch. I stepped closer. It was an easement termination. Recorded, signed, real. Vanessa folded her arms. You may own the cabin, Daniel. She paused, but you don't have legal access to it. For the first time that morning, I felt something shift. Not panic, but attention. Because I remembered what the county clerk had told me. There was an old easement. Vanessa continued. The road crosses HOA conservation property. That right of access was terminated when Silver Ridge acquired the preserve. Aaron looked at me. Daniel, there was an old access easement west of here. Vanessa smiled. There is only one access route. No, there used to be another one. You're changing your story. I'm telling you what the county record shows. She tapped the termination agreement. The county record is in his hands. Aaron asked, what road does this agreement terminate? The access road to Daniel's cabin. Which access road? The one he uses. Where does it say that? Vanessa pointed to the legal description. Aaron read it. Then, where's the exhibit? She hesitated. What exhibit? This document references Exhibit A. It's the North Preserve. No. It says the terminated easement is shown on Exhibit A. I don't have every attachment. Tom spoke from behind us. Daniel, was the old route west of here? Yes. Vanessa looked at him. What old route? My uncle used to reach the cabin from the west. That was before County Road 18 was improved. Vanessa shook her head. The road was relocated. The termination follows the access. Tom looked at Aaron. Aaron looked back at the document. No, Mom. Easements don't normally jump to a different piece of land because somebody builds another driveway. Vanessa's confidence slipped. Then verify it. Aaron nodded. That's exactly what I'm doing. He called dispatch again. This time he gave them the recording number and asked for Exhibit A. We waited 5 minutes, maybe 6. It felt longer. Vanessa stood beside her SUV. Carol stayed quiet. Tom sat back down on the porch step. Vanessa finally looked at me. You could have avoided all of this. How? By respecting the HOA's notice. You ordered me out of my own cabin. You were using disputed access. You called me a trespasser before you showed anyone this document, because the access determines whether you can legally be here. No, it determines how I can get here. Her jaw tightened. Tom looked down, hiding a smile. Then Aaron's phone rang. He opened an email, zoomed in. His eyes moved across the screen. Vanessa stepped forward. Well? Aaron turned the phone toward us. A narrow recorded strip ran through what was now Silver Ridge land, west of my parcel, west of my current gravel road. It connected to an older route that no longer existed on the ground. Aaron pointed. This is the terminated easement. Then he pointed east. This Mercer's current road. Nessa stared at the screen. That can't be right. The road was moved. Yes, so the termination still applies. No. Why not? Because his current road is on his own parcel. She looked at Tom. He didn't rescue her. He simply said, you terminated an easement he no longer uses. Vanessa stared at the map. For several seconds, nobody spoke. Then she tried one more time. He moved preserve sign. Aaron looked toward the road entrance. Where was it? Marking the boundary. On whose parcel? Vanessa pointed toward the green map again. Aaron didn't take it. According to the recorded parcel map. She stopped. Carol answered quietly. Daniel's. Vanessa turned on her. Whose side are you on? Carol looked stunned. This isn't about sides. That sentence landed harder than anything I could have said. Aaron's radio crackled again. Dispatch had reviewed the original call notes. He listened, then looked at Vanessa. Mrs. Caldwell, you told dispatch this was an HOA-owned cabin.
That was our understanding.
You stated it as a fact. I relied on the board's records. You also reported Mr. Mercer was becoming confrontational. He was refusing to comply. Did he threaten you?
No.
Did he approach you aggressively? No. Did he attempt to stop you from leaving? No. Aaron paused. Then what did confrontational mean? Vanessa's face tightened. He was argumentative, I said. I asked for a deed. Aaron looked back at her. Tom finally stood. Vanessa, listen carefully. She turned toward him. His voice was calm. You called my office to report a criminal trespass. I acted on HOA information. And now the records show Daniel owns the cabin, owns the road he used to reach it, and the easement you cited applies somewhere else. She said nothing. Tom continued. If you have a legitimate civil boundary dispute, take it through counsel, then. But don't call my deputies and turn an HOA map into a criminal complaint. Vanessa crossed her arms. Are you accusing me of filing a false report? No. Tom shook his head. I'm telling you that now you know the facts. That was worse for her, because ignorance only works once. Carol touched Vanessa's arm. We need to go. Vanessa pulled away. This isn't over. I held up my deed. It can be as complicated as you want. Then I pointed at the cabin. But it's still mine. She got into the SUV. Carol followed. The other board member hadn't said a word in almost 20 minutes. As they drove away, Aaron looked at Tom. You still going fishing? Tom looked at me. That depends. On what? Whether Daniel actually has fish in that creek. I picked up the rods. After all that, you still don't believe me. He pointed toward my folder. Bring proof. We didn't go fishing immediately. First, I called my attorney. Not because I wanted to sue Silver Ridge. I wanted the argument finished in writing. 3 days later, the HO received a letter with 5 attachments. My recorded deed, my certified parcel map, the Silver Ridge recorded plat, the easement termination, and Exhibit A showing exactly where that old easement had been.
The letter asked for 3 things. Withdraw the unauthorized use notice, stop claiming ownership of my cabin, move the North Preserve sign off my parcel.
That was it. No $1 million lawsuit, no public threats, no demand that Vanessa apologize on her knees. Just correct the record. Silver Ridge held an emergency board meeting that Thursday. I wasn't there, but Carol called me afterward. She sounded exhausted. The attorney asked Vanessa for the deed. I laughed. Which deed? That's pretty much what happened. The board attorney had reviewed the title records before the meeting. He placed Vanessa's community map beside the county plat. Then he asked, where is the recorded conveyance transferring Mr. Mercer's parcel to Silver Ridge? Vanessa said, the preserve map reflects the development boundary. That's not what I asked. The map was prepared during development. Was it recorded as a deed? No. Was it recorded as a plat transferring title? I don't know. Did Silver Ridge ever receive title to Mr. Mercer's 14.2 acres? Silence. Then the attorney answered his own question. Not according to the title records. Carol told me the room went dead quiet. Then the board voted. The unauthorized use notice was withdrawn unanimously. The claim that my cabin sat on HOA property was withdrawn unanimously. The preserve sign would be moved back onto Silver Ridge land unanimously. Then they adopted a temporary rule. No trespass complaint involving a disputed boundary could be referred to law enforcement until management or council verified the ownership records. Vanessa voted against that one. Apparently, checking who owned property before accusing someone of trespassing felt unnecessarily restrictive. 2 maintenance workers moved the sign the following Monday, about 70 feet west. Silver Ridge North Preserve. Same sign, same green lettering. Now it was standing on Silver Ridge property, exactly where it belonged. A week later, I received the formal withdrawal letter. Silver Ridge acknowledged that my cabin and primary access road were outside HOA ownership. I put it in the folder behind my deed. Vanessa lost her authority to issue property access notices without legal review. A few weeks later, she resigned as HOA president. Her resignation said she was stepping down for personal reasons. Maybe she was. I never asked. The following Saturday, Tom came back to the cabin. This time, nobody called the police. We walked down to the creek. He caught the first trout. I told him it was luck. He said, "Do you have documentation for that?" I told him to shut up. Later that afternoon, I stood on the porch and looked toward the road. From there, I could just make out the preserve sign through the trees. On their land, my gravel road stayed on mine. That was really all this had ever required. Vanessa had an official-looking map. She had an HOA title. She had a certified letter. And for a while, she had enough confidence to make all 3 feel like proof. But confidence doesn't transfer property. A community map doesn't replace a deed. And calling the sheriff doesn't make someone a trespasser. Especially when the sheriff is already sitting inside the cabin. Tom being there made Vanessa's mistake embarrassing. His badge made the moment memorable. But neither one proved I owned that property. The deed did. And once Silver Ridge finally read it, the argument ended exactly where their authority did, my property line.